What is K-pop? Well, it's pop music from Korea. South Korea to be more specific. But although K-pop can refer to all kinds of South Korean pop music, most people are probably gonna associate it with a more modern form of K-pop that emerged in the 90s. To make this difference a little clearer, from 1945 to the beginning of the 90s, Korean pop music sounded pretty much like this. Or this. Or this. In the 90s, pop music in South Korea changed drastically and began to sound more like this, or this, or this. See what I mean? This modern form of K-pop has quickly evolved into a global phenomenon that gained massive popularity not only inside South Korea, but also in East and Southeast Asia. With the help of YouTube and other social media platforms, it then gradually spread all over the globe, leading to the formation of a huge international fan community. So, how did this quick worldwide expansion come about, and what makes K-pop so special? Let's begin with the basics. K-pop cannot be limited to a certain musical style. It's not a genre like hip-hop or rock, meaning that one K-pop song doesn't necessarily share many audible characteristics with another K-pop song. Like Western pop music, K-pop comes in a lot of different forms. Catchy hooks unsurprisingly matter a great deal. But other than that, it's pretty hard to classify K-pop since it adopts so many different music genres and mixes them together in sometimes quite unusual ways. In that respect, it probably offers more stylistic liberty than Western pop. It's not uncommon in K-pop to jump from one genre to another within the same song. Like in the song Hate by 4 Minute, which changes within seconds from super sad ballad to whatever you call this. But K-pop acts are not relying on the quality of the music alone. Other important factors for K-pop's popularity include the personalities and looks of the performers called idols, extremely elaborate music videos, intricate choreography, use of foreign languages, and often overlooked but extremely important, massive promotion and support through big record labels and the South Korean government. Idols are like an East Asian version of pop stars. The term itself comes from Japan and describes people in groups or solo artists that have not been discovered but rather manufactured by a major label that markets not their musical talent, but rather their looks and their whole character. Idols represent an idealized image of a person, standing way above us mere mortals. This image of superiority naturally results in idols becoming highly important points of reference, especially for teenagers and young adults. Idols are in most cases not solo artists, but rather performing groups that can be quite small, but can also reach hilariously huge proportions. Sticking close to the concept of manufactured boy bands and girl groups from Western pop music, these groups are typically either exclusively comprised of girls or boys in their teens or early 20s. At the beginning of the formation of a group stands the assignation of specific roles for every group member that determines if their main function in the group is singing, rapping, dancing, visual, or face of the group. While the terms singer, rapper, and dancer should be clear, those last two are probably news to you. To put it simply, visuals are group members that have an especially striking appearance or absolutely embody a beauty ideal. The face of the group, on the other hand, does not have to be the one that looks the best, but rather the one that most represents the group as a whole, kind of like a spokesperson. But because idols aren't just performers but also high-profile celebrities whose every move is watched super closely, they're often assigned different personality types as well. A wide range of personality types is really important to appeal to a high number of potential fans, since fans are the lifeblood of every K-pop act. Fandoms have their own names, they are active on social media, organize meetups, and attend concerts, where they even perform special fan chants during performances. Since fans are so important, no chance is missed to reach out to them. In order to cater to their fans, idols often act in Korean dramas or films, appear in all kinds of TV variety shows, and share their personal experiences with a considerable amount of social media followers. To ensure that idols are extremely skilled in every facet of their job, they have to go through a rigorous training program. Training of applicants, which usually begins at the age of 9 or 10, consists of regular school education in addition to singing, dancing, acting, and foreign language lessons. And as if all of that weren't enough, trainees also live together in a house with other trainees and have to adhere to a strict daily schedule that leaves little to no time for anything else. This might seem harsh, but it gets worse. Because even after many years of training, there's just a very slim chance for trainees to actually make it and debut publicly. And it's not only the chances of making it either. Because even if you do make it, you're now bound to the company that trained you for many years, since successful applicants have to sign a contract with their record label before starting their training. While it's of course understandable that a company that invests high sums of money in you wants to make sure they're getting something out of it as well, the lengths many K-pop companies go to are really objectionable. It's not just by chance that these contracts are often referred to as slave contracts. They are not only very strict, but often also simply unfair and extremely in favor of record labels. Since they are bound to their contracts, even majorly successful K-pop idols are only left with only a very small part of the actual proceeds of their job. Nevertheless, they are required to work extremely hard under very stressful conditions, not only as trainees, but also after they have made their breakthrough. While it's probably a little odd to talk about the significance of videos for a music genre, we'll have to consider that K-pop actually relies very heavily on visual elements. Most people don't just listen to K-pop, they watch K-pop in the form of music videos. And they're not cheap either. Considering the production quality, K-pop music videos are right there at the top with US productions. In a typical video, idols are seen dancing on several costly designed studio sets, lip-syncing to the song in flamboyant costumes. These videos are absolutely essential in creating the image of flawless, charming and highly attractive idols. And because they're aimed at an international audience, videos are released on YouTube so they're accessible from all around the world. Dancing has a very high standing in K-pop. It's not only heavily featured in music videos, but also essential for live performances. Every released single of a group has its own unique choreography, and many also feature certain key dance moves, which fit their theme and make them more recognizable. But K-pop dance routines are not only ubiquitous, they're also extremely complex and demand a high level of agility. If that didn't scare you off, you can learn many choreographies yourself, because chances are you're gonna find a dance performance video of the song you're looking for on YouTube, since K-pop groups often release those in addition to the usual music videos. K-pop lyrics seem mostly extremely emotional and innocent. Although the motto "sex sells" is usually nicely fitting for pop music, K-pop is a little more well-behaved in that regard. You can only find a few pretty vague innuendos squeezed in somewhere, because censorship in South Korea is pretty strict. Harmonizing with the clean and polished image of idols, by far the biggest topic in K-pop lyrics is sweet romantic love. This love is expressed with lyrics directed straight at the absent love interest and by extension at the fans themselves. In contrast to many deeply romantic lyrics, there are also some pretty nonsensical ones in there, since they sound cool, I guess.
Let's go!
But at least as interesting as the things K-pop acts sing about is the way they use foreign languages to do it. You see, there's a surprising amount of more or less correct English phrases in K-pop lyrics, since it's pretty common nowadays to drizzle those on top of the usual Korean ones. But it's not only English that's featured in K-pop lyrics. For releases in foreign markets, many K-pop acts also especially record whole albums in foreign languages like Chinese or Japanese. There are also K-pop groups like EXO, which is comprised of the two subgroups EXO-K and EXO-M. While EXO-K unsurprisingly performs in Korean, EXO-M performs in Mandarin, reaching out to Chinese audiences. There are a handful of major companies in K-pop, their undisputed leader being SM Entertainment, which is responsible for more than 1/3 of all K-pop album sales. But these companies are much more than just your everyday major label. They use very meticulous planning, considering and forming every little detail of their idols, and launching huge promotional campaigns to bring their acts to success. So, if you want to look at it a little cynically, K-pop is first and foremost a business. But this global rise of K-pop didn't only occur because of the labels. It was the South Korean government that started to invest heavily in the development of its enormous culture industry in the 90s. Every year it pumps millions and millions of dollars into K-pop and K-dramas in the form of subsidies and tax breaks. Why? Well, because these investments then come back more than quadrupled in the form of increased consumption of all kinds of Korean products. In addition, South Korea also profits from these investments in the form of soft power. Soft power simply meaning the influence a country has internationally, not through its scale or brute force, but through its appealing image. In this regard, K-pop acts as a kind of advertising for South Korea, leading to sympathy in those consuming it. So you see, there are some pretty good reasons why K-pop got as big as it did. Just keep in mind that it didn't just happen by chance. Alright, that about covers it. If you liked what you just saw, feel free to like and share this video. If you have other things in mind you'd like me to explain, just tell me in the comments. Thanks for checking in. That's all, peeps.